See,
The gasp is here.
hi, Leo.
There you go. Bam, off we go.
Okay, so
Ladies.
right, we're gonna like I say do something. So let me just move my thing round. It's really overcast today, so I need my light on, which I thought I wouldn't have to do, because I thought it was going to be sunny. So
Muggy.
it's apparently it's muggy. Rather, I've been out. I have sat outside. I sat outside while it was sunny-ish, and then I only sat outside for an hour because then I have to come in here. It takes me an hour or so to prep for this, so I thought I'd come in and do this. So anyway, I didn't want to sit outside right at the midday because it's mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. So what I thought was, this is the last of my book pages that I made a while ago. So this is what I made, and I've got to admit it's not my favourite. It's kind of not stuck together either very well. It's not my favourite, so I thought let's do something with it. So what I've thought we'd do is make it into a little journal. Okay, so these are some of my coffee dyed pages. So you know when you put something to dry on a bun tin, this is what happens. You get lots of circles. So this is some coffee dye. This is some of the eco dyed paper that didn't turn out brilliant, but I like that kind of worn edge on it. This is just some coffee dyed paper. This is just some regular yellow A4 paper, line paper, and then this is some more of the eco dyeing that we did. So we've got loads of eco dyed paper, but now Brian has scanned it all in. It means we can actually use it. So okay, so this is what I thought I would make. So what I'll do is I will start by decorating the outside. That will also need, the signature will also need to be cut down. So I'm going to strengthen the spine. So I think actually I'll do the spine strengthening first, and also do some remedial repair work. I'll just get my new glue book out. So bigger and better, more space to actually do the gluing on. It's an old magazine, so okay. So let's get the gluing done. So just because the bits that didn't get glued down properly before, I just need to glue down, because otherwise we'll end up with fluffy edges. Where's my spreader gone? There.
Sonia has joined us.
Yeah. Hi Sonia.
Dawn.
Hi Dawn. So yeah, you might be able to tell that my my mood is different today. I'm in post meltdown, so I had a bit of a meltdown yesterday, which was attended to by both Brian and a very nice lady that was not involved. She was it was in Morley Market, and there was another stall who had nothing to do with it, who was very nice, very helpful. But now today I'm just in that melancholy post meltdown, not sure what I'm doing with myself type thing. So if you kind of pick up on that, which you probably do because you can hear it in my voice, then you know that's the situation. So anyway, so what I thought I'd do is I kind of strengthen it with this. So I thought actually I would only need probably half the width of this, and then I could put maybe some on the inside if I feel it needs it. So this was an old scarf that I picked up from a charity shop, so like a lady's scarf that actually it was trimmed with this, and this is the reason I bought it, for this. But then I thought the scarf itself is made out of some nice material that I can actually you know, use for strengthening things. So anyway, I'm going to put this down. Well, I would do if it was a bit more flat, maybe. Maybe it should have been ironed, Dave, maybe. So there you go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this down on here, and yeah, stick it on there. So what I tend to do sticking these things with is I will stick it with 3-in-1 glue. I just find it's a bit, it holds things better, it makes things a bit more secure, it's good for gluing fabrics down as well. Sorry, I just want to kind of get an idea of where I need to glue. I've got an itchy back, excuse me, let me drink my tea as well.
Multitasking.
A little bit milky, but I won't tell Brian it. Well, it's a little bit milky for me. Although he's just heard it, so he sat next to me.
Brian doesn't drink tea, so he has no idea what it's supposed to taste like. He
Yeah,
tries, though.
it's not. Yes, I mean, like, you know, don't look a gift horse in the mouth if somebody makes you a cup of tea, you accept it, but, you know, it's not how I would make it. So, anyway, so I'm going to kind of get an idea of where I kind of need to just mark so that I don't spread too much glue over the surface. So, there. I keep saying to Brian, I know this is going to sound a very strange thing, but I really do wish something I can't do anything about, but I wish I wasn't autistic, because I don't like dealing with the post stuff. The problem is I'm too self-aware. If I wasn't self-aware, it wouldn't really make any difference to me. I don't know, would it? I don't know.
Don't know, because I work with still have melancholy days after massive meltdown.
Alright, so you probably can't hear Brian. I've noticed that when I've got my mic on, that he doesn't always get picked up on. So he's just said that because he works with autistic kids, that sometimes that they're in a melancholy mood after a meltdown. So maybe it is a thing.
Remember, it's like a big release of I suppose adrenaline or
Yeah,
endorphins or something.
So Brian's saying it's a big release of endorphins and adrenaline, etc., which it is, and it's extremely exhausting. And the problem is, because I'm so self-aware, I can see it all happening, and it all kind of unfurls in front of my eyes, but I cannot do anything to stop it. And then it causes me to be sound sensitive and all sorts of things. So then we ended up going to the supermarket, and one of their we went to one of the self-scan things, and one of their coupon printers was out of paper, and it was just beeping incessantly, and I was just not able to stand anywhere near it. So I asked a member of staff if they could just top up the roll, and initially he was not very helpful, but then when I kind of explained, and he realised that I was covering my ears, and Brian also explained a bit, and he says, "Oh right, okay, now I'll sort it out." Apparently he'd said to Brian, I can't remember what he said, but he was on the spectrum as well.
He said he understood because he had a diagnosis.
Oh right, because he had a diagnosis. So it's good when people understand, because like it's very hard to explain. Like people just think you're being overreacting about something, but I'm just not able to cope with additional sounds. I mean, supermarkets are overwhelming as it is. Sorry, I'm making a pig's ear of this while I'm doing. There we go. So I'm not worried about the kind of rolled edge. If it's not going to stick down, it's not going to stick down. There we go, that's it. So just putting that on there, and then I'm just going to cut it off, but I'm not going to cut it too short. I kind of want it to have like this kind of end. Well, I would cut it over some scissors. Oh, there they are. So yeah, like I say, it's not easy to explain if you don't. Some people are understanding of it, and some people also say, "Oh, we all feel like that from time to time," which isn't really very helpful, because yes, you might feel it from time to time, but I deal with it on an everyday basis, so it's not quite the same. Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. That kind of matches like the same width either side. And I know there's a pencil line on it, but I'm going to decorate it, and you probably won't see the pencil line. Anything where it rubs, where it spills out over the edge, just give it a bit of a rub. Ryan.
Sandra Boyd has joined us.
Oh, hi Sandra. So just rubbing off the bits either side. So it's not quite dry, but we're going to carry on anyway because you know, we haven't got time for it to dry. It's like waiting for paint to dry. Waiting for glue to dry is not going to happen. I don't know whether I want to put some, because it's very old book paper. I think I might want to put a little bit on the inside as well, so that it's got a bit more strength. So I'm going to do that, and I'm doing it without. I'm not going to draw any lines this time. Just going to go for it.
Oh, freehand.
Yeah, freehand. So I'm going to follow this line, this channel down the middle, where the book pages join, and then just give a wiggly line either side of it, and hopefully I'll be in the lines. Yeah. So I told you it's not quite dry. It stuck to the book page. Sorry, to the glue page. So I'm just going to stretch this out a bit. Again, have a nice hangy edge. Maybe do it that way up, Dave. Yeah, that's about right. Is that kind of in the middle? Yeah, I'll do. Oh, it's falling apart. I've got the cotton all stuck to me. Yeah, pop that there. Yeah, I thought I threw that away, but it came back. Okay, so there we go. So it's just so that when I sew in my signatures, they will have something to grip onto, rather than just, you know, you could sew it into the book page itself, but it's probably going to tear out. So it gives it a bit more longevity that way. So there we go. So moving on. So now I've got that in there, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a bit of, put the lid back on the glue. That might be what I'll do first. Do that first. So, and I think I'm probably going to do a bit of decoupage now. Yeah, some of this edge is loose, which is good. That's fine. I can put stuff underneath it. Okay, so I'm going to do some decoupage. I'll maybe use this. Now, I haven't used this before because I don't know, the leaves are a bit bright and I don't think they're very realistic looking. But I was thinking, well, if you use it on a book page, it'll dull it down anyway. And sorry, I'm concentrating trying to get that off there when I could just use a piece of sticky tape and do it that way. So, yeah, it'll dull it down and it'll look a bit more realistic, hopefully, like that. So there we go. Tear that apart. I'm obviously not going to put the detox bit down. So maybe have, I quite like those leaves, these ones. Might have those in on the top. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Oh, I quite like that as well. Maybe this. Let's just tear some out and see how we're going to use them. So I know I should use my water brush, but I haven't. So I'll use this one. I don't like that, but I think that's just because it's kind of mirror imaged. If you kind of split it up, it might look all right actually. So I quite like this cheese plant leaf on the corner, but I think this one is bigger. I'm going to go for this one.
Cheese plant, how very 70s.
Yeah, no, yeah, but everybody in the 70s had a cheese plant, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like the law, like pampas grass. So.
Well, you know that pampas grass. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
No, we won't talk about that. I don't know. Might try a bit of that. I think because, like I say, I think it's because it just doesn't look very natural with the blob in the middle. But if I tear it out, I know water. I should use the water brush, but I'm not. So, okay. So let's use these and see how these are going to look. So, maybe on here, maybe a bit here. Maybe layer it up. Maybe more like that. Maybe, or more like that. Yeah, like that. A bit up there. Is it going to be too leafy? Am I going to go? Is it going a bit over the top? Right, I'll leave that there. And like the one that I didn't like, it didn't get used anyway. So, so watered down Mod Podge, and I need a brush. I can't open it. I cannot open it. It's painful. It's obviously got glued shut. Sorry for the noises, but I really cannot. Brian's going to have to have a go. He's got bigger hands than me, so he might be able to get leverage on it.
That's how people tell I'm a drag queen.
Sorry?
That's how people can tell you're a drag queen.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's the culprit. The massive bit of glue around the edge. Yeah, I think it might need tidying up. To be fair, the glue on that. Let's get this. Yeah. Every time I've closed it, I've thought I really must get that off there, and now I've learnt my lesson. So there you go. How? You know when like your hands hurt after trying to open a jar. A bit of advice: if you are opening jars, and you're opening like jars of like pickles and things, and you can't get them open because they're new, then if you just put a knife in the edge and just pop the seal, it'll make it so much easier to open. So, but this isn't vacuum packed, so it's not. There wasn't a seal to pop open, so it didn't work on here. So forget that advice if your Mod Podge is glued shut. So just putting a liberal amount of glue on there, and then we can go in with this. Just gonna have it slightly off the edge so that we don't get that line of green. I said off the edge, Dave. Okay. And then just stretching it out as you go. Don't pull it too tight, because remember you've made it wet and you're going to tear it off. There we go, that bit on there. And then, what did I say? This over the top, didn't I? So, a bit more on the fabric. So I'm going to lay it over the top of the fabric. Going from the middle, I might pull it a bit tighter. Yep, over there. So you'll see that. Well, you probably won't see it now, but as the glue dries, you'll then see the image in the background come through. So you kind of just have to trust that it'll look okay when you're doing it. So right, that's soaked into that page. So there's more of that on. Seagulls, I can hear seagulls. Has global warming happened and we've moved closer to the sea, or maybe the tide has come right into Batley on Sea because of global warming.
Interesting concept.
Well, you know, the seas are rising, and as they rise, there's that whole potential of, I mean, like, you know, it's only kind of like speculation, but as things melt on the polar ice caps, they could release diseases that we haven't seen for billions of years and we have no cure for. So just saying.
Fortitude.
Fortitude?
it was a series that was on Sky. Might
All
still
right.
be on. And it was about they were mining on an island in the Arctic Circle and found like a woolly mammoth grave
All right.
that was in a pocket underground, and it released a thing that made people bonkers.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Kind of pandemic-y, scary.
All right. Well, I just was reading something about it, so like it was. I don't know whether you heard what Brian was talking about, but if you didn't, he'll tell you. You'll have to get closer to the mic in order to say something, I think. And if you can hear him, that's even better. So, okay, so let's wipe that up, because otherwise I'm going to end up sticking things in it. Okay, so I've put those on. I might have some flowers on it now, I think. Are they too... Well, I've got them out, so they've got to go on.
You've got bright leaves for bright flowers.
Yeah, so the bright flowers. That's kind of what I was thinking when I was getting them out. So what shall I have? I don't know why I turned it round, because those flowers are exactly the same as these. Maybe the yellow. Quite like that one. Right, and I will use a water brush for this, because of where it's located. Right. Too much water on the end of it, so I'll just wipe a bit off. It's only kind of a rough cut. Because it's so warm, some of the bits that I've just watered have already dried, so bit disappointed about the weather today, because like it's supposed to be yeah.
28 this week.
Well, it's 23 degrees apparently, but it's not very sunny. I think I focused on the heat rather than the sun. Right. So I don't really want this down here. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this edge, so just so that it's not a straight edge on the bottom, because your eye is drawn to a straight edge, whereas like a decal edge. That's why decal edges in crafting are so popular, because you don't see it as much and it blends in. So I'll take a bit off that as well. Bit off there. Oh, tear it as well. That's torn it. So, cool. Okay. So I think I'm going to have that on there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I know the flowers don't go with the leaves, but like well, I don't know what shape leaves that this flower has, but
they kind of do actually.
Yeah, I mean, like, they go with it, but what I mean is they might not be botanically correct leaves.
We don't worry about stuff like that. It's not Kew Gardens.
So, because this has got a crease in it, I'm going to try and stretch it a bit so that you don't, again, a crease is a straight line and we don't want your eye to be drawn to it. So just pasting that on. You have to be really careful now, because I'm pasting over something that is very saturated, so I'm not going to be teasing it too much, because it'll start to rip. So just going to go over this edge. This end's not so bad because I haven't got anything underneath it, so there we go. There we go. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up to dry it, so I'm going to get my heat gun out. I'll put that over there because I might just need it again. I won't put it in the water, otherwise it goes all watery. So as I always say, pick it up. As I always say, but don't always do, pick it up. So I am going to pick it up this time. So you've got somewhere for the heat to go and the moisture to go with it. So I quite like it now. I initially didn't think I would, because of and I've been reluctant to use that napkin, like I say, because it's just too bright. I think it was because some of the leaves on it are kind of blue and green, and I just didn't like the way it looked, but I quite like it now. So that's a metaphor for giving things a go, isn't it? I've just realised I've caught this leaf here. Now, there's my brush. If I can tease it out, then I will. If I can't, I won't. Get some tweezers onto it. There we go. Might just have enough on that brush. Might not be the best repair in the world, but this bit's coming off. Problem with when you Mod Podge onto fabric, the fabric just absorbs all of the moisture, and therefore it doesn't glue down as well. So you might need to go back in and just touch it all. So, but that's why, you know, if you leave it to dry, it'll, you know, you're not going to be messing with it. But as you're heating it, you might see areas that come away. When it dries naturally, you don't tend to get what happens is it'll blister, and you get like the separation where the turn this off for a second, where you get the paper and the napkin will separate again, and you end up with like a blister underneath it. When it dries naturally, you don't get that. So if you can leave it to dry, leave it to dry. Might give it a dry from the back as well. So just because the paper gets very saturated on the back otherwise, so, and you end up having a very dry front, but the back still isn't dry. So okay, what I'm going to do before it gets too dry is I'm just going to smoosh it down and try and rebond the bits of paper. So that what's happened is, because this is a lamination again, so two pieces together, it started to, where the glue is kind of heated and it's kind of liquefied, and it stopped sticking it down. So if you just go over the back and just kind of re-laminate it, or try, that can help. Okay, so it's not completely dry. You know where it's not completely dry? On the fabric. I'll try and give that a bit of a dry. Again, there's a bit there that's not. Alright, just rub that bit off then, Dave. It's not working, just get rid of it. Yeah, okay, so again, let's just check. Might have to just press that bit down there. Okay, cool, okay. So, I'm not going to play too much more with that, otherwise it's all going to fall apart. Get rid of that. Yeah, that's drier. Still going to have to just be careful on the fabric bit, because it's just still a bit more tacky. So there we go. That's what we've done on the front. So I would like to continue some kind of pattern on the inside. So maybe I don't want like such a big pattern. I might just have like an element of one of these flowers, or maybe a little bit of the blue coming in off the corner, off the side, sorry. Move that out of the way for a minute. Just get this flower off. Just so I can take this one out. And then I'm not sure what else. I want that flower. I'm thinking that flower kind of hanging off there, and then I don't know, maybe the rose, the yellow rose. Okay, well, we'll give that a go. If I place it and I don't like it, I can always change it. So On the right, did a cut on the bottom? No, it didn't. Cut. I mean watermark, water brush, whatever it is. So that maybe in there and that on there. Yeah, I like that. And then I want something this side, so I might as well prepare that, haven't I? Maybe this pink flower. I'm not sure what it is. Peony, maybe? Don't know. I only know the flowers that I know. The other ones are a mystery to me. So maybe that. Get rid of the there's too much foliage on there. Sorry?
I said all I can do is Toy Wilcox now.
Oh, it's a mystery. Yeah. And oh, maybe those bluebells. Just loosely following this line. I'm not worrying too much about it. And if it's a straight edge, what I was thinking is I'll just have it coming off the side. Take that bit off there. Maybe that up there, and that there. Or is that too mirrory of what's going on over here? Maybe that over there then, and that there, and that here. And that there. Yeah, okay, we'll do something like that. I'm not worrying too much of it. You only see once you put the signature in, you won't see them both at the same time. So, anybody know where I put my lid? Oh, there. I've got a bit of backache today as well. That doesn't help. I think I was like in a strange position yesterday, so.
Trampled by a dog in your sleep.
Oh yeah, or trampled by Worcester in my sleep, possibly. Yeah, that's a very high probability, actually, to be fair. So when I went to bed, he was lying on the bed horizontally across it, like, this is my bed, which, you know, reluctantly moved over so that I could get in. And then during the night, I found myself again with my legs out of the bed because he'd decided that it was his bed again. So, the thing is, he also wants to kind of snuggle, and it's too warm to snuggle, so he gets close to me, and then I have to move away, and then he wants to get close again, so then I move away, and then I end up being, you know, all the way to the other side of the bed, or off the bed. It's a king-size bed, for goodness sake. It's been room enough for me and my dog. So, maybe if we have that way, so it's coming in from there. Oh, don't worry about the fact that it's paler like this. Once you've watered it, it'll show through better. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So remember, you're going to be putting it onto fabric, so the fabric will soak the glue up very quickly. So don't over soak it. Try and just be quick about what you're doing so that it sticks with the glue that you've used, rather than getting it too wet, because then it takes ages to dry. So see how it makes that blue come through. It won't be as bright as it would have been the other way up, but like, it's still brighter than you think it's going to be. So once the signature's in, it'll look fine. So it might look a bit odd now. So, okay. So I'm going to put this on this corner. I think that suits it better being there, because, you know, it's just not on the edge. So not on, what I mean is, it's not on the edge and overlapping another pattern. So, or, you know, being too fussy. Put that on there. I'd love decoupaging. Probably one of my favourite things to do. So 6 hours of decoupaging. Nobody wants to watch though, do they? So it's just because I love it. It's everybody else does. So so like I was saying earlier, I'm constantly trying to find new things to do and new techniques, and but with having a full-time job as well and a dog to look after, and not just a full-time job but a full-time job that takes up more than full-time and a half. I just don't get the time. Maybe when I retire I might be able to come up with all of these weird and wonderful ideas. And I've got to say, there are a lot of crafters out there with their own channels that put loads and loads of content on, but they're sometimes like stay-at-home parents, or they're, I don't know, retired or rich enough not to have to work. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Do you know something though? If I didn't have to work, I probably still would, because it's been part of my life for so long. I'd quite like to be one of these, what they're called, not an entrepreneur, what's the other thing? When people give their money away to people. Oh, I can't think of what it's called. Brian's just said an idiot. No, that's not what I mean. If I won a huge amount of money,
A philanthropist.
yeah, I can't say it. Philanthropist. Philanthropist? No. Philanthropist. Wow, I nearly cut my tongue off with my teeth then trying to say that. But yeah, I'd like to be one of them.
Or a dragon.
Or a what?
A dragon.
Or a dragon.
Dragons, yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant not as in a dragon. I thought you were like.
That's essentially what they do.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you meant a dragon, an actual dragon, like a real dragon, because dragons are real. Hashtag just saying.
Yeah, dragons have just returned to Kew Gardens. They are real.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand.
There's a pagoda in Kew Gardens.
All right.
And there's a painting of it that was painted in 1872.
So Brian's just said there's what?
Pagoda.
A pagoda in
Kew Gardens
in London that was. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a painting of it from 1872.
There's a painting of it from 1872,
and on every level and every corner, because it's like hexagonal.
Yeah.
And 10 stories. There's a dragon.
And on every level and every corner, because there's 10 stories, there is a dragon. Sorry, I don't know why I'm relaying this, because it now turned into Jackanory.
Yeah. But the dragons are not there, and nobody knows. There's no record of them being taken down. Or
what? Oh, I see. Are they actual like statue things?
Yeah.
Oh, right. They're what?
Carvings.
Oh, carvings. Okay, I didn't know what you meant then. So.
But they've just had new carvings made and replaced them all. So
right.
Now, for the first time since 1872, there are dragons back in Kew Gardens.
So apparently there's dragons back in Kew Gardens. There you go. You heard it here? 9th. I don't know how many other people have said it. So like.
It's on the news.
So you didn't hear it here first, but you might have heard it here 9th. So I'm just going to overlay those. They'd look a bit more natural when they're not like just a star shape of them.
It says she'll have you on it.
Yeah.
If you've been a philanthropist.
If I get enough money to be a yeah. To be able to, hopefully by the time that I'm one of them, somebody might have taught me how to say it, philanthropist, then I will happily share my money with you, Leah. But alas, I am not that person. No, I want to stick to having these same. What should we use? Maybe just something little because it's on the back. Let's just tear those off. And maybe have those in the corner. Just something a suggestion of something. Although it'd be weird if they're like that way up. So, yeah, okay, let's do that. So this has been well and truly decoupaged. So put that on there. So this is why I have so many napkins, because I love doing this. Like I say, it's therapeutic for me, and it's good really, because I've actually not thinking about all the things I was thinking about before I started the video, so that's all good, isn't it? So
sound perkier.
Yeah, so Brian thinks I sound perkier, which I think I feel a bit perkier, so it's because I'm concentrating on something. That really is one of the big key, is concentrating on something. Just helps, because driving, that's why driving is good for me after a meltdown, because I'm concentrating on driving and I'm not worrying about everything else. So just dry this bit off and dry this bit off. So I don't know, did I do that bit? I can't remember whether I dried that bit off or not. You see how it just goes translucent when you dry it, or when you leave it to dry. Like, it's not just because I'm drying it; it's when it's just the part of the process. So you can see those multiple layers of those leaves now. So there we go. So that's it. So that's that bit. Okay. So I might put some things over the top of it, but let's do the next bit first, because I know we're short of time. That went quick. So pop that there and that over there. Get rid of those bits. Although I could put them on my washi tape. Okay. So now we need to think about this going in. Now what I think I might do is also put maybe a decoupage on a couple of these pages before I put them in. But this, you see how this is now, if you put that right up to that spine, these are going to hang over, okay, and that's what I don't want. So I'm going to cut it down. So I think I need to take about 1 centimetre off it. So it's like when you cut a leg off a table to make it, try and stop it from being wonky, and then like you end up cutting all the other legs down because you cut too much off. So this could be what happens with this. I end up cutting too much off and then having to start again. I mean, I know that maybe I should really actually measure it, but you know, I'm not. So I'm just going to go in and cut these. And remember, when you're cutting, don't try to cut everything all at once. It's better to go over multiple times than press down, because what you can do is you can shatter the blade on these things, and then if that flies off, catches you in the eye, it might be the last crafting you ever do. So get rid of those strips, which I'm sure I could use for something else, but not now. Right, okay, so maybe, right, okay, where's that going to go? So it's going to sit like that. Now, do I want it to have a bit more of a lip? I think I do. So I'm going to take a smidgen more of it. Slither. About that. So try not to move your ruler, and try to make sure that when you're holding it down, you hold both ends. Don't just hold this bit, because it'll pivot. Okay, put those bits off. Hopefully that's better now. Get rid of them. Yeah, and yeah, that's perfect. That's just the kind of edge that I wanted. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to just, because you're going to be opening it a lot, I kind of maybe want to put something stronger on this edge, And maybe I could use one of my washi tapes. No, not that. No, not that. Maybe I could use one of these. Let's have a look. Do any of these go? No. Quite like that one. No. Possibly. It picks up the colour, doesn't it? So of that. And remember, you're not going to see it, or it won't be hanging over like this. So let me just fold it over and just see. I don't want it to take away from everything. I want it to just be part of it, and I don't think I even want it to come over this, so I could tear it off here. Yep, I'm going to go with that. Do I want to do it? Yeah, because that's too busy. So, so just peel this off the back. Right. Okay. Let's just see where I'm going to put it, and then before I tear it, I'm going to put it here. So I want to tear it off about there. Yep. So because it's a homemade washi tape out of a double-sided sticky tape, it's not as easy to peel off, especially when you've got everything stuck to your fingers. Okay. Get the bits to separate. Oh, come on. The problem is with this kind of sticky tape is because it's so sticky, there is the potential for it to stick to itself. Really, I should have peeled that end off first. I'm going to stick that bit down. Oh no, sorry, don't know what I'm doing. Let's do it that way. So I think I want it to go to about there. Try and straighten it up a bit. Otherwise it'll be all wonky. Right, don't want it to stick to that tab. Pull it off. Yeah, that's perfect. That's where I wanted it. And then flip it over this edge. And that's just going to strengthen that bit of paper and stop it from delaminating, hopefully. Yeah, I like that. Get rid of that bit. That bit can be kept. Okay, so we've got that now. That's a nice edge now. And also you're less likely to cut yourself on that. You know when you cut yourself on paper? Ouch. Okay, so I'm going to use the 3-hole thing, which I think is called a pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to think it's going to be in my next video, which is going to be the one that I'm going to record, which will be on YouTube. I'm going to use 3 holes, the pamphlet stitch, in order to make this, so you'll be able to see the stitching on this side. Okay, so you can either leave it decorative and have the ends on this side, or you can leave the ends on the inside of the paper. But I've got a special device for making holes in paper, so I will do that. So just give you a view of what we've made. So this is what we've done. Okay, so we used the napkin that I really wasn't that fussed about. Okay, and then we've done this inside. And this is the one where we reverse the image. Like I say, it's not quite as bright as it would have been, but it still, you know, isn't as dull as you think it's going to be. Obviously, don't reverse images that I've got writing on, because then the writing will be reversed. And then this is the back. So the back, you know, I like the back to be decorative, but I'm not worrying about it too much being, you know, really full, impactful. Okay, so there we go. So that's what we've made in the hour that we had together. Okay, so then I'm going to carry on. I'm going to finish the rest of this. I'm going to obviously record it as I go, so I'll hopefully see you in part 2, which will be on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for helping to cheer me up. Just thank you for being there. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope wherever you are in the world it's lovely. I hope, you know, whoever you wanted to win at Euro 2021, if you're interested at all, because I am not.
You did post a score earlier.
Oh right, okay. So what was it? Who's playing? I don't even know who's playing. Oh, I see. No wonder people are so excited about it. So England are playing. So what was the score?
I don't know. It was 1-0 at the time, and I don't know if that was full time, half time, part time.
Okay, yeah. So
in time, next time.
1-0 to who?
England.
Oh right, okay. So, all right then. So anyway, don't really care. So moving on. So yeah, you have a lovely day, afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this. My name's Dash of Dave. Everything needs a dash of Dave. You know, spice up your life with a dash of Dave. So yeah, you all have a lovely afternoon, and I will see you in the next video. So as I say, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. You take care of yourself, folks. See you soon. Sending lots of kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. I'm going to go and get a hug from Brian now. All right. Have a good day. Take care. Bye. Bye.